Hello friends, Intuitive Rene here, bringing you your weekly Friday pick a card. And today, as you can see on screen, we are doing a body, mind and spirit check-in. And I think this is going to be one of the the most, I'm going to call it complex and detailed picker cards I've done in a very long time. And I say that because, as you can see, I have shuffled and laid out the cards already, or put them into bundles, put them into piles. And today we are working with 7 decks, 7 different decks. We've got tarot, we've got oracle, we've got a bit of everything here today. And it wasn't, I want to say it wasn't planned, but it wasn't planned by me, but I certainly think it was planned by spirit that it was 7, because just as I sat and started recording this very second and said to you 7 decks, I suddenly had the realization number 7. So, it's always interesting the way that I come about these pick a card subjects and categories and themes and whatever else. And today, yeah, we landed on body, mind, and spirit. So spirit was saying, let's do an all-round check-in. Let's just see where we're all at and what we're dealing with and what's going on and where we need to be focusing. And then when it came to selecting cards, it was very easy for me to pick the tarot card or the tarot deck that I wanted to work with today. That was the easy part. And then when it came to picking the oracles, that's where things got a little bit interesting. And I kept adding and adding and think, oh, but I like that one, but I like that one, and I haven't used that. And then I was going for color schemes, and then I was trying to get back to animals and nature. And anyway, I didn't realize it. We ended up with 7. And 7 is a spiritual magical number. 7 is, it's one of the most significant numbers that we have. 7 days of the week, 7 colors of the rainbow, 7 main energy centers or chakras on our body, 7 notes on the musical scale. I can go on and on and on with the number 7. So actually quite fascinating and interesting that spirit have made us have 7 decks today. So we're doing a body, mind and spirit check-in. So we're going to use the tarot cards to get us that information. And I don't actually I don't actually have a plan for the oracle. So that's one deck that's going to get us our body, mind and spirit check-in. The 6 decks that we have over here are just going to give us extra information, message from spirit, message from guidance. And it's a message from guidance. Listen to me. Oh my gosh, I can't even speak. Message from spirit and guidance from spirit. I'll get it right eventually. And yeah, let's see where it takes us. So what do you have to do at this point? How do you choose which of these bundles, which of these piles is the right one for you? Well, they're all identical from this end, okay? They all have exactly the same quantity of cards from the same decks. There's no difference there, but obviously the images, the messages, etc. will be different. So all you really need to do is just look at the 3 that you have here. And do you find yourself keep looking at one? Do you find your eyes sort of keep pulling to one of the 3? Or does one seem brighter, one seem clearer? I've got a bit of sunlight coming in the room. So, are you looking at which one is in the shadow, which one is in the light, which one's a little bit half and half? Look at all of these things and just allow yourself to be intuitively drawn to one of these bundles, to one of these piles, to one of these groups. And just trust that that's going to be the one that you need, the message that you need to hear today. You can pause the screen, pause the video and meditate on it. You can use a pendulum. You can even use the numbers and the timestamps to guide you. So on the note of timestamps, if you read in the description below, I would have put the timestamps to take you straight to the bundles. So obviously after this intro, we start with bundle 1, then we move on to bundle 2 and to bundle 3. If you've chosen one of these 2, you don't want to have to sit through this entire bundle or keep fast forwarding and skipping and trying to find where bundle 2 or bundle 3 starts. So the timestamps will take you straight there. So if you have chosen bundle 1, you can obviously just continue watching the video because it'll go straight into bundle 1. But if these are the ones that you're choosing or going for, then you can use the timestamps to jump straight ahead. So let me stop babbling. I'm very excited to see where this goes. I also need to just warn you that when we actually do the readings, I do think it's going to get quite messy because I have a lot of cards to position on the screen, on the table, and I haven't actually planned it. So I have no idea what it's going to end up like. We just hope it's going to be okay. And I hope the message works for you. And remember, all I ask from you, if you do enjoy your message, if you do enjoy your reading, is to give the video a thumbs up, and a little message at the bottom would be fabulous. And if you are on social media, what about sharing the video? Share the video to your friends and to your family, in case somebody else also needs a little bit of guidance, a little bit of inspiration from the spirit world today. I appreciate all your love and support, and I cannot wait to get into these readings. So bundle 1, bundle 2, and bundle 3. Let's start. Right, hello friends. I know the screen looks so bare. I'm like worried about that. But anyway, we give a lot of cards to dish out today. So welcome to those of you who chose bundle 1 as the bundle that has the message, the reading, the guidance, and the inspiration that you need in your life today. And today we are doing a body, mind, and spirit check-in, and we have a whole lot of extra cards. So we're going to get quite busy on screen. We're going to be putting cards all over the place, but let's get straight into your message and see what is the check-in. What do you need to know? What is your current state of your body, your mind, and your spirit? And then we'll get into the additional cards. Right. So, oh, look at that. I always have to chuckle. This is the Dark MansionTarot. It is just such a beautiful deck. It's quite a quirky deck, and it's quite a little bit Tim Burton-ish, but it really is just such an awesome deck. So what is the current state or the current check-in of your body? And here we have got the Judgment card. You know what that means. I mean, I almost feel like I don't even need to add anything. I don't need to say anything, because judgment means that, maybe what needs to happen. Maybe you know what you need to do. Maybe you know exactly what's going on with your physical body, but you're not doing the work. You're not putting the effort in. So you need to make some changes. You know that there's something that needs doing, but it's almost like you're just holding back and hesitating and not wanting to make the changes. What I love about this particular Judgment card is here we have this angel being, and she's blowing on a trumpet, and she is, making some beautiful sounds and some beautiful noises. We have all these skeletons who have come out. It's almost like they've crawled out of their graves, and they've not come for the party, but they're dressed. We've got bride and grooms, and we've even got piano players over there, and we've got a whole orchestra happening at the back there, actually. And we're dancing and we're having a good time, but we're not really facing our reality. We're not really facing the situation of where we are. So the Judgment card is about hearing the call. Okay, the Judgment card is saying that you need to listen. You need to acknowledge what's going on around you. You need to be mindful of the calling of what you've been drawn to. So with regards to your physical being, so this is about your body. This is about your physical self. You know that something needs to happen. You know that there's something that needs doing, but you're putting it off. You're almost like not wanting to respond, or not wanting to acknowledge. And this is spirit saying to you, come on, it's time. It's time that you step up to the plate. This doesn't have to be a negative, okay? This doesn't have to be a negative. This is not telling you it's time to diet, all right? This is just telling you it's time to heed the call. You know what it is. You know what you need to do. You know what's lacking or missing, or what needs to happen. But you've been putting it off for the longest time, and it's time that you started paying attention. It's time that you started listening. It's time that you started honoring whatever it is that's happening with your physical being, and allow it, work with it, move towards it, acknowledge it, and make the changes that are necessary. Let's have a look what's happening with the mind. So with the mind, tarot has such a sense of humor. Spirit has such a sense of humor. I just love it. We've got the Queen of Swords. The reason why I find it quite amusing, because swords is the suit of intellect. It's the suit of the mind. It's the suit of our thoughts. And the Queen, she's a no-nonsense queen. Okay, some of the other queens are very gentle and very loving and very nurturing. She's not. She doesn't care if she hurts your feelings. She doesn't care if she upsets you. She doesn't care if she, steps on your toes a little bit. She's going to speak the truth, okay? And she's going to speak the truth without colors. She's very black and white. She's very, logical and practical and all of those things. What she isn't is emotional, all right? So what is the state of your mind? Well, you're obviously being very hard on yourself. Let's go back to this judgment, okay? So you may find yourself being super judgmental, super critical. You may find yourself, your thoughts being quite hard and quite brash and quite savage is the word I want to use, all right? You're not being very nurturing and very gentle in your thoughts. Everything is quite hard and to the point and whatever else. And this is clearly what's going on in your life at the moment. All right. So the state of your mind, your current mental check-in is saying to you that you are being far too hard, far too critical, far too judgmental, and far too abrasive. I'm really using some interesting words today, friends. Right, let's have a look at the check-in in the current state of your spirit, your connection to spirit, your spiritual self. Oh wow, we have got the pair. The King of Swords has come through as well. But you know what? King of Swords, he's a little bit different to the Queen. He's not as, he is strong, he is forceful, he is brave, he is all of those things. He's also solid. He's everything, but he's not as cruel as she is. In this particular pairing between our King and our Queen of Swords, she's the one who says to him, off with his head, that, do this, do that, get rid of this one, implement this rule. She's the one who actually drives him. He's the one who just issues the instructions. He's the face of her thoughts. So let's have a look at this. And I think now I'm starting to understand why Spirit wanted us to do this as a topic, as a theme for this week's pick a card, because clearly you're being too hard on yourself. Okay, clearly whatever it is you're going through in life at the moment, the way that it's impacting on your physical, emotional, mental, I should say, and your spiritual self, the way that it's impacting on you is you are being so hard on yourself. So, with regards to your spiritual connection, you're trying to stick to the rules, okay? You're trying to do everything right. You're trying to do everything the right way. You're trying to stick to the structures and the rules and all of that, and maybe it's not working for yourself, and because it's not working for yourself, you're being so hard on yourself, okay? And because of that, we're neglecting and not facing the things that we need to with regards to our physical being. So this is very interesting for those of you who chose bundle one. I'm going to push the cards up a little bit just to make some space on the table, because now we're going to start going through this and see how it talks to this situation. So the oracle cards, and there are 6 different decks here. I haven't really put them in any particular order, but I have kept each of the groups orders in the right way. So I think we're going to start at the back, okay, and work our way to the front. So let's see where we go to. So the first card we have, I'm trying to think, this is from the Angel Guide Oracle by Kyle Gray. And in your particular case, we have got forgiveness and understanding. And I think that is so appropriate and so perfect for what we've already said with everything that you are going through. And I actually think I'm going to push it this side. Sorry, I haven't planned the layout, so please excuse me while I rearrange everything on screen, but we are going to have to try and fit quite a lot in. So the reason why I think I wanted to put forgiveness and understanding before this, in front of this, is because I think forgiveness and understanding of self is what needs to take place here. When I look at what we've got with regards to your body, mind, and spirit, there's definitely this feeling of, you know what, let's understand who we are, where we are, what we're going through. Let's be a little bit more gentle with our own selves, and let's have a little bit of forgiveness and understanding. Okay. I'm going to take, if I can pick it up, the next card at the back. And this one is from, I think it's Earth Magic Oracle, and Earth Magic Oracle by Stephen Farmer. And here we have the whale, okay, whale energy. And the key word is breach. And if you look at what the whale is doing, it's coming out of its natural environment. It's coming out of its natural habitat, and it's breaching on its back as it's flipping over. I don't know the scientific reason as to why whales do that, but it's almost showing off. It's almost saying to everybody, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me, okay? The whale is sort of expressing and showing itself as well as having a little bit of fun. And maybe this is something that needs to happen. Let me just put a glare on the card. We're going to put the whale over there. So Spirit is saying to you, you know what? Sometimes we have to show off a little bit. Sometimes we have to put on a bit of a show. Sometimes we have to climb out of our familiar, okay? So we have to jump out of the water. We have to jump out of our familiar in order to change our circumstances, to change our environment, and also to change our way of looking at life. Remembering forgiveness and understanding above all else. Right. Now we're going to pick the next card. I love my butterflies. This is Universal Wisdom Oracle cards. Let's have a look and see what we've got for you there. We have got the beautiful wisdom card. So lots of animals coming through, and I knew we would have a lot of animals coming through this week. So we've got these snakes that are coming through here, but we're not afraid of the snakes. Look at the energy coming out of the eyes, okay? Look, can you see that? And it's almost like this person is drowning. And I use that word because we've got the whale. But it's almost like they are completely engrossed in the eyes. Just look how beautiful that the artwork is here. Those eyes are so piercing. They are so beautiful. I love all the blue energy that's coming through. There's quite a lot of blue. So, wisdom, the message that I'm getting for this is again with regards to forgiveness and understanding. You know what needs to happen with your body. You know what needs to happen. You've got the wisdom, you've got the understanding, you've got the knowledge, you've got everything that you need to fix, to get in line, to be less critical, less judgmental, less hard on yourself, and to actually just nurture the self a little bit more. I love that. And then this little card over here, this is from, what's this deck called? Let me have a look. Gifts of Spirit, okay, by Kimberly Hale. And it's animals and their spiritual gifts, I think it is called. Let's have a look which animal. So again, more animal decks coming through. Oh, you've got the lion. Oh, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And the lion's message is about strength, bravery, and pride. So that now starts explaining the whale, because aren't whales so strong? We perceive them to be strong because of their size. And we think that because of their size, they are brave. You know, everything else is afraid of the whale because of their size. Everything else is afraid, and whales do tend to have a little bit of pride. They are strong, of course they are, but we don't know what they're feeling. We don't know the state of the mind. We don't know the state of the spirit, okay? We just assume based on their appearance, we assume that they are so strong, so brave, and so courageous. So we've got to understand what Spirit is saying to you. When we look at all of these, we're still going to look at these two cards here as well. But Spirit are really saying to you, you're being far too hard on yourself. You're putting on a brave face, okay? You need to listen to that inner voice. You need to listen to that inner voice of wisdom. You need to work on forgiveness and understanding, not of others. Okay, that's what's coming through so clearly. It's not forgiveness and understanding of others and what others are going through and what others have done to you, but forgiveness and understanding of the self. Again, our king and our queen of swords, they're always more concerned about issuing judgment on others as opposed to themselves. They believe that they are perfect. They believe that they do not need to change, that they do not have any faults. But we know that that's not true. We know that every single person, every single being, every single entity has faults. Whether you are a huge big whale, whether you are a snake, or whether you are a lion, an angel, whatever, whoever you are, we all have faults. None of us are absolutely perfect. But we have to understand that sometimes in life we have to dig deep and find our courage, find our bravery. We need to listen to that inner wisdom that we have. We need to forgive the self, but at the same time, we need to step out of our comfort zones. I'm loving this message. Right, and then another animal deck that I've chosen, and this one is the Animal Kingdom Oracle cards. Let's see what animal we've got here. So here we have the crocodile, and it says to you, stand in your survival power. Oh my word, that is just so, I love it. Okay, so the crocodile saying to you, stand in your stand in your survival power, is again talking to our swords, because that's what they're about. Okay, can you see that they've both got their swords and they're holding their swords upright? So they are ready to give an instruction. They are ready to give a final verdict, if I can call it that. And once they've spoken, nobody convinces them otherwise. They will not change their minds. They are steadfast in their belief and in their understanding. But looking at the judgment card, looking at everything else that we've got here, I think this is Spirit saying to you, you are being too hard on yourself. Okay, you do need to stand in your survival power. You do need to understand that you are going through and you're trying to survive as best as you possibly can under your current circumstances. But forgive yourself. Place a bit of understanding on yourself of what you're going through, what you've experienced, everything that's happening in your life. Understand that sometimes we have to step out of our comfort zone. We have to step out of our current reality We have to breach, we have to almost turn ourselves upside down in order to hear, see, and understand the wisdom, the courage, the bravery. And again, crocodiles, they fight hard. They fight hard. And that's why we have the strength, the bravery, and the pride of the lion. I'm absolutely loving this. And finally, this is from the Whispering Woods Little Oracle. I love these tiny little cards. And let's see its message. Humility. And it says, flowers are unaware of each other's beauty. They bloom regardless. So that's just a final kind of, let's call it confirmation. Sorry, I've lost the focus on the camera. Let's just get back for a second. There we go. So that is just a final confirmation of Spirit saying to you, stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. Stop worrying about what people think of you. Stop worrying about what how people are looking at your physical being. Stop worrying about what people think about your mental, your spiritual. Stop worrying about other people and actually focus on the self. So this check-in, this body, mind, and spirit check-in that we're doing is telling you that you are stronger than you realize. You are more beautiful than you realize. You are more, I want to say, you are smarter than you realize. You are stronger than you realize. You are amazing. And you need to stop comparing yourself to other people. You need to stop focusing on other people and you need to focus on the self. Forgiveness and understanding of the self above all else. And if you can focus on that, then understand that your life will be moving in a much better direction and you're going to have the success and the happiness that you want, that you deserve, and that is actually your birthright. But it is time that you start listening to that inner wisdom. It is time that you start paying attention to that that's happening within your soul and let that be the driving force in everything that you do. I love, 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 love. One more time, love this message. And I do hope each one of you that have listened and chosen this particular bundle, I do hope that this speaks true. I do hope that this just resonates with your heart and soul and just that you understand the message that Spirit have for you today and use this to help you be the best version of you that you can be, because that's what I'm all about. Every single thing that I do, every reading that I do, and every client that I interact with, and every video I create is with the sole purpose of helping you be the best version of you. So friends, with love and blessings from my heart to yours, until we connect again, take care. Right, hello and welcome to those of you who chose bundle 2 as the bundle that has the message, the reading, the guidance, and the inspiration that you need today. I think the table looks so big and it's worrying me, but once we've laid out all the cards that we have here today, we're going to fill up all the space, so just bear with me. I know it looks terribly bare and terribly boring, but I promise you we'll fill it up with some beautiful color shortly. So friends, I'm working with the Dark MansionTarot, which is going to give us the bulk of our reading. And then I have a whole bunch of oracle cards that we're going to spread out just to get extra clarity, extra understanding, and such a deep, beautiful message for you. So we're going to look at, today we're looking at our body, mind, and our spirit. We're doing a check-in on our physical, a check-in on our mental, and a check-in on our spiritual. And then we're going to get additional information from here. So let's get straight into it and see what is it that Spirit needs you to know. So what is the current state of your physical being? What do you need to know about your physical being? Let's have a look at the check-in of your body. We have got the Strength card. I love that. So you know what that's telling you is it's telling you that you're stronger than you realize. It's telling you that your physical body is actually in a good condition. It's actually doing okay. And this isn't saying that you're perfect. This isn't saying that you are without without issues, okay? That you may have some issues. You may have some weaknesses, but you know what? You need to dig deep and you need to fight it. You need to find your courage and find your conviction and find your strength to tackle, to face, and to handle everything that you need to. So there's a couple of things with this particular strength card that I just absolutely love. So traditionally in tarot, when we have the strength card, we have a lady with a lion, and she normally has a chain around the lion's neck, and she's normally trying to walk with him, and she's trying to tame him, control him, and almost not show her vulnerability, not show her fear with the lion. And here we can see the lion is looking quite fierce. showing its natural ability, showing its natural, its natural form, its natural state. She's sort of resting on the lion's head quite casually. Now, I don't know if it's very clear to see, but let me actually bring it a bit closer. Let's see if I can do this. Bring it closer, get the camera to focus on it. So she has this tiny little red stick over here. And that's what she uses to manage, control, and to handle the lion. The other thing that I really want you to see are all these beautiful white flowers that have come out. The white flowers are symbolizing purity, symbolizing perfection, symbolizing happiness and joy. So, really, what we have going on here with the Strength card with regards to your physical being, this is Spirit saying to you, you're okay. It doesn't matter what you're going through. It doesn't matter what's happening. It doesn't matter what your current circumstances are. You need to dig deep within yourself, dig deep within your physical being to find the courage, the bravery, the strength, the conviction to tackle, to handle, and to face whatever it is you need to. You need to tame the beast within, okay? And you have the strength to do that, but you've got to put the effort in. You've got to do the work to tame the lion within you, okay? So sometimes what this means is when the strength card comes up in a position like this, it's sometimes saying to you that we've been too afraid, okay, to tackle something. We've been too afraid to start something. We've been too afraid to initiate something with regards to our physical being. Maybe there's something really big and scary that we don't want to look at. We don't want to face it. We don't want to deal with it. And this is Spirit saying to you, it's going to be okay. Going to be okay. All right. Let's have a look at your mind. So what is the current state of your mental self, of your mind? And here we have the Queen of Cups. I think this is so fascinating. With the previous bundle, we had the Queen of Swords that came through in this position. So very interesting that we've got the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups, she's very different to what we said for the Queen of Swords in bundle 1. So she's sitting at the seaside. You can see the water behind her and you can see that the waves are coming in. She's sitting on her chair. She is beautiful. Look at her. She is dressed. She's got all these pearls on her. There's even a little mermaid over here. Beautiful seashells everywhere. There's even a mermaid over there on her chair. So it is ornate. It is beautiful. Her crown, her jewelry, everything is just so perfect and so beautiful. She has quite a large cup in her hand. Queen of Cups is about nurturing. It's about it truly, this is what I call mother personified, okay? Moms that nurture and take care, but always look so perfect. So it's not the mom that looks all ragged and hassled and whatever. This is the mom who just, it's so effortless, it's so perfect, it's so beautiful. Queen of Cups is about just total perfection with regards to emotions. So this is the state of your mind. So you're actually feeling quite calm. You're feeling quite serene, you're feeling quite tranquil, even though there's lots going on in the physical that you need to tackle and deal with, but the mind is actually calm. Just like the lady here with the lion, she's quite calm. She's not really panicked. You're very calm, you're very tranquil, you're very serene within your mind, even though you have anxiety, even though you have stress, even though you've got worries, even though there are things happening, but you sort of just, you're managing and handling it, nurturing and taking care of it really, really well. And it's almost like maybe what I'm actually hearing from Spirit and seeing in this particular card is that maybe she's daydreaming, okay? Maybe she's actually not, because she's sitting skew and her head looks like she's turned a little bit more that way. So maybe it's actually saying that we're not really facing, we're not really dealing or tackling with our current circumstances, but mentally, this is saying to you that you're okay. There's something that you need to face and deal with here on a physical level that you need to tame, that you need to take control of, but mentally you're actually doing okay. You are in balance. You've got everything under control. Look how nice and calm and still the waters are, even though we've got some waves crashing on the shore, but that's completely normal. But otherwise, everything is very calm and very tranquil. So mentally, you're actually in a good space. However you're handling yourself mentally, you're actually doing really, really well. So good. Now let's have a look at the state of your spirit. So we're looking at a check-in on your spiritual self, and let's see what's happening there. Okay, I like this. So here we have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups in traditional tarot is about choices. It's about, trying to decide which way we're going to go. And this is saying to you that spiritually you are questioning. Spiritually you're saying, okay, what's going on? What are my options? What's actually about the, what does each cubicle contain? What is its message? What is its meaning? What is its interpretation? And which one is good for me? So spiritually you may be questioning, and maybe this is why mentally we're actually so calm, because we're sort of questioning, looking and challenging different aspects of ourselves because of what's happening with the physical. Okay, because of what's happening with the physical, we're sort of looking, weighing up our choices, weighing up our options on a spiritual level and saying, right, what's actually right for my soul, what's actually right for my physical, and what's actually right for me as an individual. Like that. Okay. Right, so I'm going to push these up to the top of the table as such, just to make a little bit of space so that we can start going through these cards to see what other information Spirit are going to give us. And what I did with bundle one is I actually started the cards from the back. So you can see we've got quite a few cards here to go through. So we're going to start from the back and work our way to the front, only because it's the little card in front and I want to start with the bigger card. So let's have a look and see. This card, this one in particular, is from the Angel Guide Oracle by Kyle Gray. And its message for you is to do the work. First of all, just aren't these colors just extraordinarily beautiful? And I love the message. It's telling you to do the work. And I think that's referring to this over here. Okay, so I'm actually going to, I don't have a plan on layout of these cards. And I want this one actually connected to the body. I did this for bundle one as well. So let's do that. Excuse me, rearranging everything on camera, but I want to just make sure that it all fits in. So the message from the Angel Guide Oracle telling you to do the work, you know, with regards to these decisions, with regards to these choices with your spirit, the emotions, the mental that you've got all figured out, and this with the body, it's telling you that you can't ignore it any longer. You can't just rest on the lion. It's time to tame it. It's time to do the work to get the physical being, get the body into the condition, the shape, and whatever it is that you need to do. So whatever it is that you're facing, yes, you will overcome it. Yes, it will be okay, but only if you do the work. All right, you need to do the work. But understand, mentally there's calmness, there's solitude, there's everything is actually okay. But there are decisions to be made. You're questioning, you're challenging, you're looking at the options, but you have to do the work to understand and to explore. The next oracle card that I'm taking, and this is from the Earth Magic Oracle cards. Beautiful, beautiful deck. And let's see its message. Okay, so we've got music. And, you know, what is music? What does music come down to? It comes down to the harmony. And what is harmony? I want to unpack this a little bit. Let's see if I can place this here. I want to unpack music and harmony a little bit. And to me, harmony means many things working together to produce a pretty outcome. Okay, I say pretty outcome, but you know, it's melodious, it sounds good, therefore I'm using the word pretty. So in everything, and I think this card is actually talking to this one, spiritually questioning, looking at our options, weighing up pros and cons, weighing up, you know, what's available to us and all the different aspects of what we want to do. And I think it's saying to you, do the work to find the harmony within your life. You've got the harmony here, okay? Because that's what Queen of Cups is saying. Queen of Cups is saying to you that actually we're quite tranquil, we're quite calm, we're quite okay mentally, but physically we don't have too much harmony yet because the lion is still roaring. We still need to do the work there. And on a spiritual level, we're still questioning, we're still investigating and exploring options. Harmony is about do whatever you can, adjust yourself to bring everything into balance so that everything is cohesive and that everything sounds pretty. I'm going to stick with sounding pretty. All right. So you have to do the work to bring harmony into all areas of your life. You have it here, but we don't have it here yet. The next card that I'm going to draw, this is from the Universal Wisdom Oracle cards. Again, butterflies, you know me, I'm all about the butterflies and all about the pretty. And we have got the card of healing. Oh, I love it. Look at all the, again, the colors. Aren't they so similar to the colors there, even though they're two completely different decks? It's just this kind of marbled, I don't know quite what you want to call it, light energy. I love all the swirls that we have. I don't know if you can see, you know, there's swirls everywhere in the card. And it's all about the healing. I love how she's got the third eye, the star, and in the heart center. So it's about the physical and it's about the spiritual. It's about the physical and it's about the spiritual. And that's where the healing is needed. That's where the harmony is needed. So this is all making perfect sense, but you've got to do the work. You know, with regards to healing, we could always go to a person for healing, whether it is a medical doctor, whether it is an energy healer, whether it is a reader, it doesn't matter. You can go to many people for guidance, for help, for healing, for this kind of work, transformational work that needs to happen. But just because you're there doesn't mean that the healing happens automatically. You have to take the information, the knowledge, the guidance, the inspiration, the tablets, the medicines, whatever it is, you've got to take it and you've got to actually do the work to bring everything back into balance. Okay? The healing, you are responsible for your own healing. Nobody else is responsible for your healing. And I think that's where we're looking at with the spirit card. The spirit card with these choices and options and sort of looking at everything, like what's good for me, what's going to work for me, what do I want, what do I need, what do I desire. Mentally we're okay, but physically we've got some challenges. Physically there's things that we have to tame. Okay, so the healing, the work and the healing that needs to happen, you have to embrace it, you have to take it on, and you have to work it in the best way that you can. I think that's awesome. All right, so the next card, if I can pick it up, let's do this. So this comes from a tiny little deck called the Gifts of Spirit, and it is an animal deck, an animal spirit deck. So let's see what message we get from the animal kingdom for you. We have got the hawk. And again, I love the colors. I love the artwork. Isn't it just exquisite? The message from the hawk, or the keywords from the hawk, is trust, guidance, and vision. I love that. Trust, guidance, and vision. So when we look at this, okay, again, when it comes to healing, there is an element of trust there, isn't there? You're not going to accept healing from a person, from a situation, or from a circumstance if there's no trust, and if there's no guidance, and if you don't have the vision for the outcome, for the final destination of where it's going to take you to. We need that harmony, we need that coherence, we need that synergy, we need everything to be perfect before we make the decision. So spiritually, reason why we're hesitating, the reason why we're pondering and trying to look at options that are available to us, is because we don't understand the vision, we don't understand the big picture, we don't understand where it's going to take us and what we need right now. So we're questioning all of that because we don't have the trust, and that's why we're sitting in that place. But mentally, because you have to rely on yourself, because you are the only person who can offer you anything in your own life, you have trust, and you're recognizing and understanding that guidance. But the strength card is telling you that the trust is, it's there, we're pretending, we're holding on to it, but maybe physically it's not quite where it needs to be. So we have to do the work. And again, with the hawk, the hawk flies, the hawk looks, the hawk sees, the hawk reacts. Do the work, find that balance. The hawk only hunts when it's hungry, when it's necessary, not just for hobby, not just for entertainment, not just for something to do. And we have to understand the heat. I'm loving this. All right, I'm going to leave. I don't know if I have enough space. So this is also an animal deck, okay? And this is the Animal Kingdom Oracle cards. So let's see the message we get here as well. And we have got the Ammonite, I can't say that word, but it talks about clearing private issues. And so we have the dragonflies that are coming out of this shell, okay? And this shell, you can see it is just a spiral that just goes on infinitively. And the dragonflies, we all know that dragonflies are about change. We all know that dragonflies are about, bringing change and bringing positive change. But we can't bring about positive change if we don't clear the issues that we have in life. Let's leave that card over there. So I'm repeating myself, but stick with me. We need to do the work. It's not going to happen automatically. It's not going to happen by itself. We have to do the work to clear our own issues. And that's where the strength card, our own issues, our private issues, clearing private issues. It's about the physical and about the spiritual. Mentally, we're all right. Mentally, we're coping. Mentally, we're all right. But the healing that needs to take place, the work that needs to be done, you have to do it yourself. It's not going to happen automatically. Okay? It's not going to happen automatically. You're going to have to put effort in. And then, friends, finally, this last little card that we have, and this is from the Whispering Woods Oracle. I love the little woodland creatures. We've got a little deer, little Bambi fast asleep. We've got little animals all over the place. Absolutely gorgeous. And its message for you is to dance. Allow yourself some fun each day. Just as the sun dances with the moon, each night. And that ties in so beautifully with this music card, doesn't it? With the music card over here. And you know what I think it's saying to you? If I look at, let's just spread these out so that everything fits on screen a bit better. If I look at this dance card, I really think its interpretation is we have to do the work. We have to heal the physical. Dancing, the physical action of dance, the movement of dance clears blockages. It helps the muscles, it helps the blood flow, it helps the liquids within the body, all of those kind of things to flow, to bring about the healing. Now, I understand we don't all have, well, some of us have two left feet. We can't all dance. We don't all have good rhythm, but it's something that we need to do. We need to get moving. That's what I'm getting with this. It's about the movement. It's about the harmony. It's about finding the balance. It's getting the healing that we need. And it's also about working towards the bigger picture, getting high enough that we can see everything that's going on in our lives so that we can make the choices and the decisions that we need to clear our issues. But we need to do the work. Love this. So, friends, I do hope that you've enjoyed your message. I do hope it speaks to your heart and soul. I do hope that there is a lot that came out of this that just really makes sense to you in your current situation and your current circumstance. And I hope you take it to heart, and I hope you put in the effort. Put in the effort to do whatever it is that needs doing. With love and blessings from my heart to yours. Until we connect again. Take care. Hello and welcome to those of you who chose pile 3 as the pile that has the reading, the message, the guidance, and the inspiration that you need to hear right now. I know the screen looks quite boring. It's bugging me, it really is, but it's certainly, there's all this empty space, but I promise you we're going to fill it up very, very shortly. Today I have got a lot of decks that we're going to be working with, and to start off with, we're working with the Dark Mansion Tarot. And the Dark Mansion Tarot is going to give us the bulk of our message, the bulk of our reading today, and then we're going to use these oracle cards over here to get additional clarity, additional inspiration, and additional guidance. So I've left them in a pile, and we're going to work with this deck first, and then we will refer to the pile that we have over here. So let's get straight into it. So the message today, or the theme today, is body, mind, and spirit. So this card's going to tell you the current state, the current check-in of your physical being, your body, and then we're going to look at your mind, and then we will look at the state of your spirit. So let's get in and see what's going on with your physical body. So with our physical body, we have got the Four of Cups, and the Four of Cups is such an interesting card. It's the card of boredom. It's the card of disinterest. It's the card of not really paying attention and not really getting excited about anything. Okay, so that's saying to you that you're not really paying much attention to your physical being. You're not really, it doesn't mean that your physical being is in a bad state. That's not what this is saying at all, but it is saying to you that you're just sort of disinterested. And I understand, I mean, for us in the southern hemisphere, we're in winter now, and winter months is the time we really don't pay that much attention to our physical being, do we? We tend to ignore our body because it's cold and all of those kind of things. But with regards to your physical, it's almost like it's in the state of pause. It's in the state of rest, in the state of boredom, the state of nothingness. Okay, so even if you have physical issues happening at the moment, or even if you don't have physical issues, just understand that there's this lack, this pause, this nothingness that's taking place right now. Not necessarily good, not necessarily bad. You would understand for your own self where this is saying to you. What we do want to acknowledge with this particular Four of Cups. So we're sitting here, we're looking at what we have, and we're a little bit bored, a little bit disinterested, a little bit uninspired by what's right here in front of us. But what we're not noticing is this other one that's coming from the behind. Let's just actually bring it forward and show you. So you can see the complete boredom and disinterest on the face with the 3 cups that are on the little mat in front of them. But somebody's coming from behind the wall offering something new, something special, something magical. But if we are so bored and so disinterested, we're not going to see, we're not going to notice. And really, the message of this particular card is to be observant, to notice the offerings, to notice the gift that is coming to you, that is being offered with regards to your physical being. So if somebody's offering you a miracle, if somebody's offering you to join them on an activity or to join them on a something with regards to your physical, Notice it. Don't be so disinterested and so, put off. Look, notice, observe, and accept. Okay, with regards to your physical being. That's quite interesting. Now let's have a look at where you are at mentally. What's happening with the mind? And with the mind, we have got the beautiful Three of Cups. Three of Cups is the card of celebration. Three of Cups is the card of joy. It's the card of acknowledgement. It's the card of living your best life with the people that matter. So we have got, fruits and cakes and candies and sweet treats. We've got wine, we've got celebration, we've got party, we've got everything happening here. And it is about celebration, okay? So mentally, you need to acknowledge, you need to celebrate, you need to enjoy and acknowledge to yourself what you've achieved, how far you've come. Recognize the progress that you've made mentally, recognize the progress that you've made within your own mind, and how far you've come, and all that you have achieved, all that you have overcome, and all that you have achieved mentally, and celebrate, acknowledge it. So it doesn't mean you have to throw a party for your mental state, but it's just about acknowledgement. It's just about saying, you know what, I've actually overcome so much, I've actually come so far, I'm actually in a good space. Recognize and acknowledge that mentally you are actually in a good space. Physically, maybe not so much. Physically, maybe not so much, but mentally, you're in a good space. Mentally, we're actually doing okay. And we need to acknowledge it. We need to celebrate it. And we need to just recognize it. Okay. And I would even suggest the fact that we've got friends, the fact that we've got other people in the card, it is about acknowledging it with others. So have conversations, have deep, meaningful conversations with your friends and your family, and actually spend some time just acknowledging the people in your life, the significant people in your life, okay? And spend some time having conversations. I'm going to call them deep conversations about the meaning of life, because you need to celebrate and acknowledge the work, the mental clarity that you have, to celebrate all that you have achieved and all that you have overcome. Now we want to have a look at your spiritual self, your spiritual state. Where are you spiritually? What are you dealing with spiritually? What do you need to be aware of? Spiritually, we have got the dreaded death card. Okay. And I say dreaded death card because it is obviously very misunderstood, this particular card, when it comes up, and everybody panics when it comes up, but let's not panic. I always get excited with the death card, and this particular one, look how bored he looks. He's sitting on a pavement. He's got his He's got his head in his hands and he's like so disinterested. He is so bored. He's like, ugh, when is this going to end? When is all of this going to end? So he's feeling very uninspired. He's feeling very, bored and irritated with life. So what does this mean? Okay. So considering this was our spirit, this is the current check in the current state of your spirit. So you are feeling very bored, very disinterested. Mentally, you're sharp. Mentally, we're okay. Mentally, we're feeling quite good. But physically and spiritually, we're feeling very blur. I don't know how to describe that, just blur. We're feeling very uninspired. We're feeling very bored. We're feeling like, you know what, something needs to shift. It's like we want to shake things up. We want to cause a little bit of chaos. We want some excitement, okay? Your soul, your spirit is feeling a little bit uninspired right now. That's what this card is saying to you. And when I look at your physical, and again, I know it's winter, and I know, we have our nights are longer and our days are shorter, and depending on where you are, it may be dull and gloomy weather-wise. But actually, what we need to understand, sorry, I see a skew on screen. What the death card is saying to you is that you're looking for a bit of a shake-up. You're looking for a bit of excitement. You're looking for a bit of mental, physical, spiritual change. You're wanting to shake things up and to experience something new. Okay, you're looking for something new. You're looking for fresh inspiration and fresh creativity and all of that, and you're just not finding it. So we're sort of switching off a little bit. And again, I know it's winter, so I'm actually looking at these two, and it's interesting. This doesn't really fit with what I'm about to say, but looking at these two, I would say that you may be suffering from the winter blues. Okay, you may be feeling a little bit overwhelmed and a little bit uninspired and a little bit dark and gloomy about yourself. Even though within your mind, you're probably working really hard to keep a positive outlook, to keep a happy disposition. You're working really hard to celebrate and acknowledge all that you have achieved mentally, but physically and soul, spiritually, you're feeling a little bit defeated, a little bit uninspired, and a little bit blah. All right, I'm going to move these cards to the top of the table just so that we can make a little bit more space on either side of them. Sorry, I know I shouldn't be doing this on camera, but I want to now start looking at these oracle cards, and I need to make a bit of space so that we can fit everybody in. So here I have a pile of 6 oracle cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they're each from a different deck, and we're going to start from the back and work to the front and see the messages that we're going to get from spirit. So we've got our tarot laid out, and that's the Dark Mansion Tarot. This particular card is from the Angel Guide Oracle by Kyle Gray, and let's see what message the angels want. It's all a learning experience. Look at that. So I love this card. Look at how we're holding the lamp. When I first looked at it, I could see it as a lamp illuminating and showing and letting us see more than there is. But then sometimes I look at it and I think, well, maybe it's a pendulum. Maybe we're holding a pendulum, and maybe we're using a pendulum in order to gain understanding, knowledge, and inspiration. So you'll have to decide, is it a lantern just illuminating light, shedding light on situations, or is it a pendulum that you're using to ask questions and to gain insight? But this is really what it over there. Let me move this over a little bit. So really what this is saying, what the Angel Guide Oracle is saying to you is, we need to learn from this experience. We need to learn from this boredom and this disinterest and this uninspired soul. We need to learn what is it that we need in order to have this healthy balance, in order to have this happy disposition. What do we need to do on a physical, mental, spiritual level in order to have happiness, joy all the time? You know what? We have this kind of thing in life where we work towards happiness, and when we reach it, when we arrive at that point where, okay, happiness is here, how do we maintain that? How do we sustain that? That's the learning. And I think this is what you're dealing with at the moment. Mentally, things are great. Mentally, you've got nothing to worry about, no concerns, nothing happening. But physically, we've dropped the ball a little bit. Okay, how's that for a pun? We've dropped the ball a little bit. And spiritually, we've just given up. Spiritually, we're just not doing anything. Okay, we're not working anymore. We're not maintaining. We're not keeping up. And we need to learn how to find that balance. I like this. The next card that we're going to use, this is from the Earth Magic Oracle. And let's see what it says to you. It talks about autumn equinox, which is about release. So I know we're in winter, okay? So it's a bit of a delay. We're not going to worry about that, but we're going to look at this key word here. What happens in autumn? Autumn is the time when we release. We release leaves, we release burdens, we release worries and anxieties, and that's what we need to do. So maybe when you went through your autumn equinox recently, maybe you didn't release what you needed to. Maybe you've held on to things. Maybe you've held on, and that's why you're feeling the way you are. I also want to acknowledge this green color because it is all the color of healing, okay? And I love the fiery reds and oranges that we have, but then we've also got the green canopy floor as well. So autumn equinox telling you release. Sorry, I see I'm broken the camera. Let's get it back into focus. It needs to see in front, and then it'll focus on the behind. There we go. So autumn equinox, what I want to read into that, it talks about we need to release our baggage, we need to release our boredom, we need to release our uninspiredness, okay? We need to recognize that we're going through a period of release. It's time to release the old, okay? Release the old to welcome in the new. Mentally, you've done that. Mentally, you're celebrating and acknowledging. But on a spiritual level and on a physical level, we're holding on to old methods, old processes, old understandings, old everything. And we actually need to let go. We actually need to release that so that we can learn how to keep that balance and how to move forward in the way that we need to. So that card's upside down. Here we have a card from the Universal Wisdom Oracle, and of course you know me and my butterflies, love my butterflies, and I just love this blue color that comes through here. So Universal Wisdom, its message to you is one of creativity. How beautiful. Look at the colors. Look at all the swirls. First of all, how gorgeous is she on a physical level? Okay. How gorgeous is she on a spiritual level? She's got stars. She is so connected. You can see how she just blends into the water, into this calm, soothing water. We've got rainbows, we've got colors, we've got wind. We've actually got all the elements represented. We've got the physical, we've got the water, we've got the air, and we've got the spiritual. We've got everything represented here. And she is all about creativity. Okay. And this is what you need to do. And I think this is a perfect message. Let's see if I can put it there. The change that needs to happen on a spiritual level with you, you've got to get creative in order to release, in order to learn. The boredom that you're feeling with your physical being, what you're not noticing with your physical body, the opportunities that you're not seeing, the opportunities that you're not taking, will require you to be a little bit creative, will require you to release old thinking, old patterns, and to learn new ways of working with your physical body, new and creative ways to work with your physical being. Your mental self, okay, your mind, the state of your mind, where your mind is currently, we're just so open to learning. We're just so open to experiences, new learning. We have already released, and we are being incredibly creative in everything that we do. I think that's okay. And the next card that I want to work with, this comes from a tiny little deck, which is called the Gifts of Spirit. It is an animal deck. So let's see what animal we have and what message the animal has for us. We have got the jellyfish. I love jellyfish. I really do. I love jellyfish. Jellyfish, the keywords we have here are supportive, sensitive, and bold. I love sensitive and boldness. You know, to me, those are opposites. So it's amazing that they've come together in the jellyfish. Jellyfish are incredibly sensitive. They're incredibly soft. They're incredibly sensitive to their surroundings. If you touch them, you will be very sensitive with their sting, with their burn, with their everything that they have. But aren't they bold? Aren't they so brave? Aren't they so courageous and supportive? They support themselves. They are a complete system on their own. I'm going to put that one over there just quickly. All right. So let's just look at this. What is the jellyfish actually saying to you? The jellyfish is saying, understand the ecosystem, understand the big picture, understand your strengths and your weaknesses. And I think that's what we're looking at here with our physical being and with our spiritual self. It's understanding our strengths and our weaknesses. And again, human nature, we all tend to focus on our weaknesses. We all tend to focus on our problems. We don't often talk about our successes and our weaknesses in the same sentence. But this is really, I think, what Spirit is saying to us is right now, where you are at in your life, what you're dealing with, what you're going through in life right now, it is important to actually embrace both. Embrace what doesn't inspire you anymore, embrace what needs to change in your life, as well as celebrating the victories, as well as celebrating the things that have worked for you. But it is about being creative, it is about learning, and it's about letting go. One of the things that stands out to me with this release card with the jellyfish is basically saying to you, you know, as you go through life, as you go from birth to whatever phase of life you're at the moment, whatever your age is currently, whatever age or space you're at in life at the moment, we have to release. We cannot go through our entire childhood keeping every item of clothing, every toy, every book, every experience, every learning, every emotion. Okay? Because can you imagine when you get to a teenager, you will already be so burdened that you wouldn't be able to progress. As we evolve through life, we have to let go, we have to release, and that is all part of the learning. It's learning what to hold on to and what to let go of. In our physical space at the moment, with your physical body, you know, you're looking at your current circumstances and you're saying, well, this is it. This is it. But actually, it isn't. We always have to look for opportunities. We always have to look for the gifts that are being presented and offered to you. You need to celebrate that. You need to acknowledge that. You need to accept the support that is being offered to you without thinking that by taking and accepting that physical support, it makes you weak, because it doesn't. Okay, it really doesn't. Spiritually, you're desperate for change. Spiritually, your soul is craving something different. Your soul is craving change, and you have to allow that. You have to be strong enough, gentle enough, courageous enough, and bold enough to allow that change to take place, with being creative, with allowing your creativity to flow in whichever way it wants to. Right, we're going to have a look at this card, and this is from the Animal Kingdom Oracle card. So it's going to be another animal card, and let's see what we have. We have, all right, so we're definitely sticking with water and ocean theme here. Okay, we have a nautilic, I can't say it, all right. I'm not going to say the word. Break negative patterns is the key word. Let's get it into focus. Break negative patterns, stepping out into yourself, releasing. Here we have this hard external shell, and we have the tender, juicy bits on the inside. And it's all about breaking negative patterns. And isn't that again jellyfish as well? You know, jellyfish doesn't have this shell, doesn't have this outer shell, but it is also about that tender, juicy inner bits, the creativity, releasing what doesn't work for you, and learning as you go. I'm really loving this message. All right, our last card is from the Whispering Woods Oracle, and let's turn it over and see its message. Kindness. It says, take respite by a pond. Again, here's the water, and be kind to yourself and to others. So take respite by a pond and be kind to yourself and be kind to others. So now, as I read that, as I acknowledge that, I want to look at this death card. So when I first brought up, or when I first looked at this death card and I showed it to you, I said he was sitting on a pavement. But now suddenly I'm looking at this very, very differently. All of this here, maybe he's sitting at the edge of the water, and maybe he's got his feet dangling in the water, he's got his scythe in the water, and maybe that's what he is. He's taking respite by the water's edge. Water is about emotion, it's about clearing, it's about releasing, okay? Releasing the emotion that no longer has a place. We've got water over there, we've got water over there. So, and even our creativity lady here, she is bathing or lying in water. So I think the death card, he's not sitting at the pavement. I honestly think he's sitting at the water's edge, because he knows he has to release. He knows he has to be creative. He knows he has to break the negative patterns within his own psyche, within his own spiritual self. And that is what you need to do, friends. You need to be kind to yourself. You need to break the patterns. You need to recognize that sensitive is not a bad thing. Learn what you can, shed light, illuminate everything that's going on in your life, and recognize that it is time now to release the things that aren't working for you, release the things that are causing pain. Your body wants change. Your physical self, your emotional self, your mental self, and your spiritual self is looking for different, looking to shake things up. We're bored. We want some shifts and changes. We want to celebrate. We want to live our best life. But it is so important that through it all, that we remember to be kind. Be kind to self. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle to yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Be fragile, be gentle, be sensitive like the jellyfish while holding on to your exterior, but break those negative patterns and let your creativity flow. Friends, I do hope that this message speaks to your heart and soul. I do hope that there's something in this message that just helps you become a better version of yourself than you are right now, because that's what it's all about. It's all about helping you identify what needs to be released, what needs to be let go. Let's learn, let's grow, let's achieve, let's be creative, let's be beautiful, let's be all that we can be, but most importantly, kind. With love and blessings from my heart to you, until we connect again.